Hello everyone and welcome to another video. Now flames are associated with heat, or in the world of graphics card fan designs, blazingly fast performance. Here the former is true, but the latter isn't, and in fact this HD 2600 XT GPU was never intended as a high-end solution, even when it released in 2007. Originally retailing for about $150, it came in at $50 cheaper than Nvidia's competing 8600 GT, which did actually outperform it. Today, however, we found this thing for just £1.25, which at the time of this video is $1.55. This HD 2600 XT features 256MB of VRAM and is one of only a handful of cards to feature GDDR4. It has 120 shader units and is clocked at 800MHz, requiring a 400W PSU and no external connectors. So let's say you don't have a GPU but want to get back into some of those older games. Could this graphics card, which cost half the price of my usual lunchtime supermarket meal deal, actually make for a decent option? The HD 2600 XT also only supports DX10, by the way, so should you find one of these, you won't get the chance to throw many newer titles at it, but let's get into the games. First up, it's Bioshock Infinite with 1360 by 768 resolution and the very low graphical preset. Recording in-game was a big no-no due to the card's limitations, so we filmed straight off the screen again today. We paired this thing with our i5 4460 and 8GB of RAM to allow the card to reach its maximum potential, and in return we saw 35 frames per second on average, a more than playable result all things considered. We did try the low preset too, but that dropped things down to the mid-20s and didn't look much better anyway, so very low was definitely the way to go here. If you want to know about noise and heat, this thing isn't actually that loud at all, but it does get pretty toasty. Next up, it's the turn of Crysis, which with the same resolution and medium settings saw 30 FPS on average with some slowdown to the mid-20s. Turning the settings up to high crashed the game, and low settings looked a lot worse, so medium was a nice compromise. This was fairly surprising, and even when the game did lose frames, it didn't feel unplayable because the game picked right back up again. Csgo now, and with everything on the lowest settings we hit 85 on average. There was an occasional freeze here and there which may have led to an avoidable death, but when your game costs more than the graphics card you're playing it on, I don't think we've done too badly with our latest bargain hunt. Finally, and just to see what would happen, we put Metro Last Light Redux to the test with the lowest possible settings, but 1360 by 768 resolution yet again to see, well, 10 frames average. We also had to switch to Fraps in case you're wondering, as the monitoring software refused to work with this one. I think we may have been hoping for a little too much here. So there we have it, £1.25 or $1.55 later, and we've had a pretty decent overall experience. I always get excited when it comes to finding hardware as cheap as possible, and I don't think I've ever found something at such a great price. For older games there seems to be an abundance of suitable GPUs about, and I can't slate anything for this kind of money. So guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video just as much as I did making it. If you did, leave a like down below, leave a dislike if you didn't enjoy it all that much. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Let me know about any great bargains that you found down below in the comments, and hopefully I'll see all of you in the next video.